Uh, Hi guys, it's Harry again from the Plot Malaysia, the show for the fans, by the fans. Quick post-match reaction from the game last night. Apologies for the delay in getting this out. But yeah, fabulous game. 3-1 win for Liverpool at Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. One of the most difficult stadiums to visit, to be honest. Raucous crowd, really, really good atmosphere they put on there. Obviously, very famous for what the opposition fans like to take a piss about with Liverpool, Istanbul, or the 2013-2014 season when we were going for the league and we gave away a three-goal lead to Palace and ended up with a draw, which effectively ended our title challenge and that season. So traditionally a tough ground, but we've had a number of wins there actually on the bounce of late. Some last minute, some very, very late wins as well. But yeah, I mean, coming back to yesterday's game, we started with pretty much the same squad. I think the same team of players that played against Brentford. So I think there was Matip in there. Matip played along with Virgil van Dijk, Robbo at left back, Trent at right back, and then obviously Alisson as the goalkeeper. And then in midfield we had Curtis Jones, Fabinho, the holding midfielder, and then Henderson. And then up top, it was Jota, Firmino, and the Ox. So very much the team that played against Arsenal as well. I think the only difference being Ox was not available for the Arsenal game. So obviously, Kate Gordon started that one. The Ox made himself available for this one. Great recovery from the ankle injury. I think it was important because he stretches the play. Without Salah, without Mane, we don't have the pace on the wings. So Ox gives that to us a little bit. He makes those runs, those dynamic runs. He stretches the play. And he threatens the back line of the opposition, so they can't really push up very, very high, which is why I think Ox gets the edge over Minamino to start these games on the right. So, yeah, that was the starting lineup. I thought it was a brilliant start by Liverpool. Probably the best 35 minutes of football I've seen Liverpool play this season. It was breathtaking. It was dominant. It was persistent pressure. We hunted the ball when we lost the ball. We won it back really fast. We moved at a great tempo. Passing was at a brilliant tempo. It was one touch, two touch play. Robertson was brilliant down the left. Obviously, 2 assists for him. The first one from the corner, a great cross, and then Palace made the mistake of all mistakes, giving Virgil van Dijk a free run on that header, and then bullet header by Van Dijk. So he's a real threat for us from set pieces. And I thought we've missed Van Dijk last season. One of the areas we missed him was not just in defense, but even offensively with our set pieces, where we've scored a number of goals this season. I think the presence of Van Dijk in the opposition box just causes a lot of mayhem. So yeah, Van Dijk with a brilliant goal. I thought we played really well in those 35 minutes. We didn't give Palace a sniff. I'm going to highlight a few top performances in those 35 minutes. Like I said, Robbo brilliant with 2 assists. I thought the Ox played really well actually. Got a great goal from the Robbo delivery from the left. Controversial, yes. Firmino was offside. Did go for the ball, but yeah, as a Liverpool fan, you take it. So Ox with a brilliant take and a brilliant finish on his left foot as well, the weaker foot. So he stood out for me. I thought Trent was great. I thought Jordan Henderson and Fabinho had a really good. So the whole midfield, I thought a brilliant first 35 minutes. Fabinho, Hendo kept moving the ball, kept recycling play, pass and move. And I thought Curtis Jones was a standout in those 35 minutes. He had a brilliant first 35 minutes. He moved with the ball. He got past people. He kept the ball really well. Was very creative. Combined really well with Robbo and with Jota down the left, which we saw against Arsenal as well. So good signs. Jota and Bobby was brilliant as well, dropping deep and linking the play up. So I thought Bobby had a good first 35 minutes as well. And then it sort of all fell away in the last 10-15 minutes of the first half. But again, that was primarily because of Liverpool's mistakes. So Joe Matip gave away a silly ball. His passing was sloppy all day long, to be honest. And he carried on from his Arsenal form. I thought he was poor against Arsenal in that first half. Poor today as well. So he kind of gave them a hope, really. And I think his sloppy passing sort of brought Palace back into the game. So he gifted them a couple of really good chances. And Alisson made a couple of stunning saves in that first half. I mean, the one that stands out for me was, I think, the one on Mateta where he rounded Alisson and Alisson recovered to make that save. I think there was another one he saved, but that was offside already. I think he did save from Olise as well. He made a good save from Olise as well, who I thought was really good for Palace, actually. Bits of sloppiness came to the game. Fabinho gave a ball away that led to a chance for Palace as well in the first half. And I thought that gave them a bit of incentive. But what I did hope was Liverpool going into the halftime break, 2-0 up, Klopp will settle them down, and then we'll go again like we did in the first 35 minutes. But nothing like that. I've got to be really honest here. Palace were outstanding in that second half. And in my opinion, deserved a draw out of that game. But we got away with one there. And the reason we got away with one is purely because of that bearded genius, mad genius who plays in goal for us, Alisson. I mean, he was man of the match. Pulled off, like I said, 2 or 3 sterling saves in the first half. Pulled off about 3 or 4 in the second half. I mean, the save he made from Edouard, Edouard's back heel was outstanding. The reaction there, brilliant. The save he made from Olise, I recall as well, with the chip, was outstanding. He couldn't do very much about the goal. Again, that was poor play by Matip, poor headed clearance, and then it led to Schlupp putting Mateta in, who then slid Edouard in for an open goal. Palace, that was the least Palace deserved, actually. They deserved, I thought, probably more out of the game. They were outstanding, like I said. And we just couldn't get to grips in that second half. I don't know what to put it down to. Klopp didn't know what to put it down to in his post-match interview. Neither do I. It was sloppy. We couldn't keep the ball for any period of time. The midfield was nowhere to be seen. So I thought, in the same way Curtis had a great first half, he had a really poor second half. I thought Fabinho struggled in that second half. Hendo struggled with his passing, but I thought Hendo took on a lot of responsibility because he made a lot of tracking runs and he saved a lot of situations from a defensive point of view. So I thought Hendo stood up in that second half from a defensive point of view. Like I said, Matip had a poor game. And then we just, like I said, kept giving the ball away. It led to attack after attack from Palace and very, very stressful second half. But yeah, when you have the quality of Trent, then you've got a great chance as ever in the game. I mean, he played that brilliant ball to Jota for the second Arsenal goal, and he went for that ball again. An even better ball this time in the 85th minute, I think it was. Played Jota in. A couple of poor touches from Jota, I've got to say. And then the ball sort of got away from him. And then this led to what everyone calls one of the most controversial decisions of the year, which was nowhere near. It was a bit controversial, I've got to say. Did I think it was a penalty? Because a penalty was awarded for that situation. Probably not. Because it felt like Jota sort of leaned into the challenge from the goalkeeper, Gaeta, I think it was. But nonetheless, you take it. As a Liverpool fan, I take it. I mean, I'm just going to reflect back on some of the penalties and decisions that have gone against us this season. Harry Kane not getting a red card in that game against Spurs. Jota denied a stonewall penalty against Spurs. So it goes in rounds and abouts. And yeah, I think there was contact. Jota sort of bought it, went to VAR. The referee then overturned it and gave it a penalty. We take that because it was a stressful game. We take that. At least the last 5 minutes or the last 4 or 5 minutes were not as stressful. And then Fabinho with a very cool and calm penalty. I mean, in the absence of Salah, Milner was not on as yet. Fabinho is the penalty taker, and rightly so. I mean, if you look at his stats from Monaco, I think he barely missed. He was a penalty taker for Monaco. I think he missed one or he didn't miss any during his time there. So he's got a good record with penalties, and he was very calm and composed. Fabinho now is more like Ronaldo, isn't it, in current form? 4 goals in his last 5 games. So that's outstanding from Fabinho. So yeah, that was a story of the game, really. Really good first 35 minutes. I think for about an hour in that game, for about 45 minutes or so in that game, I thought we were poor in that second half specifically. And like I said, Palace probably deserve something out of the game, but we take it. I mean, Man City have got away with a lot this season where they haven't deserved anything, but they've got the 3 points. It was a hard-fought win, and considering the fact that we had just played Arsenal, we played the same team pretty much, we were without Salah, Mane, Keita, Thiago Alcantara, not there as well. Harvey Elliott still injured. I mean, he's back, but he's not fit to play as yet, not match fit. Considering missing all these players, we've got through January brilliantly, unscathed. Haven't lost a game in January. Got to a final, and we've closed the gap on City without those AFCON players. So, all in all, very happy with the result. That's all that matters. And yeah, I take it. At one point, I've got to make, though, the one thing that does... Klopp is a genius. Don't get me wrong. I love Klopp. He's the best manager in the world. It's the best thing to ever happen to Liverpool Football Club. But the one thing that does I would say if Klopp has one small weakness, it's probably his in-game management and substitutions, where he does take a bit too long. And I've always said this, he waits too long. You could see something was going wrong. We were not playing as well. Vieira had changed his tactics in the second half. And I think his reaction sometimes to that takes a bit too long. And at that point, sometimes it's a bit too late. The team is already equalized, etc. So if there's anything, like I said, small weakness maybe I find Klopp, and who am I to judge? It's probably substitutions sometimes take a bit too long. And well, again, who am I to question Jurgen Klopp? He's a genius. He squatters everything, and he's the best thing that ever happened to Liverpool Football Club. So that's my post-match reaction, guys. I'm going to give quick player ratings. And you guys can please drop in your comments. Give me your thoughts about the game. Did you think it was a penalty? Let me know. I think Liverpool deserved it. Who was your man of the match? Let me know as well. But my ratings, Alisson, 10 out of 10. Man of the match, outstanding. Trent had some trouble, but again, played a brilliant ball again and was effective. Made a difference. So I'm going to give Trent an 8. I'm going to give Jan Matip a 5, actually. I thought it was really, really poor. So for me, it's a 5. Virgil van Dijk, I'll give again, I didn't think he was great as well. So I'm going to give Virgil, but he scored a goal. So I'm going to give Virgil a 7. Robbo, 2 assists. Can't get away from that. I'm going to give him a 9. Middle of the park, I thought Fabinho was really good in general. So I'll give Fabinho an 8. Curtis, like I said, good first half. Rather poor second half. So I'm going to give Curtis a 6.5. Hendo, I'll give a 7. Because I thought defensively he was outstanding in the second half. Up top, Jota played a key role for that penalty. Was darting all over the place in that first half. So for me, Jota gets an 8. Firmino, I'll probably give a 7.5. And then Ox, for that goal alone, I'll give him an 8. I thought he had a good game in general before he came off, because obviously he's just come back from injury. So those are my player ratings, guys. Leave your thoughts. Give me your ratings as well. Till next time. Ta-da.